As YouTube's #1 most woke, fullest house, crypto trillionaire degenerate client acquisition coach for copywriters who's also extremely PG, family friendly, and has an incredible body. I'm kidding. I'm not Alex Becker, okay? There can only be one Alex Becker. But shout out to Alex for being the first super successful, multi-millionaire entrepreneur to kind of confirm this theory that I've been having for a while and really vocalize it and talk about it. So tell me, have you ever felt like you know exactly what you need to be doing, what you need to be working on, but for some ungodly reason that you just can't put your finger on, you just cannot find the motivation, the willpower, the discipline to actually do it? It's like you have this important thing on your to-do list that's sitting there and you will put anything and everything above that important thing to the point where it reaches the end of the day and the important thing, the one important thing that you have to do, has not been done. Does this happen every day? In this video, I'm going to reveal the exact science behind why this is happening, because believe it or not, it's actually extremely common in the 21st century. And frankly, until you know how to fix this, it's something that is going to be really, really dangerous and might frankly just ruin your fucking life.
No! God, please, no! No!
Okay, I don't mean to sound dramatic here, but this is that important. This is quite literally the difference between achieving all of your life's goals and dying empty and unfulfilled. Okay, so you might want to watch this video until the end.
Okay.
Might also want to smash the like and subscribe buttons too, just for good luck, that kind of thing. So, story time. The last 3 years, despite what it might look like now on my social media, I have been grinding really, really hard.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, I'm talking, I used to work all day, every single day on my business. My entire life was pretty much just work from 2017 until about 2020. Okay, I had hardly any social life, hardly any dating life. To be honest, I'm really glad I did that because, well, it paid off pretty fucking well, clearly. And then, 4 months ago, I made the decision to move to the Gold Coast in Australia. I just have a lot more friends here, and so naturally I started partying more, I started drinking more, I started doing other party favors that go along with partying. And for the first couple months, I literally just couldn't get anything done. My productivity absolutely fucking tanked. And I honestly, it baffled me. I just could not work out why. Yeah. Despite obviously being hungover half the time, I meant when that sort of period ends and it's kind of midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I just couldn't kick it into gear like I used to and really enter that kind of hustle mode where I could just work for hours and hours on end like I used to be able to. I thought it was the sea air or something like that, or just, the beach air, it's too relaxing. I literally could not work out for the life of me what the hell was going on. Then one day I discovered a TED Talk from this famous psychologist, Dr. Douglas Lyle, and it was about dopamine and motivation and how they actually work in the brain. And everything he said just clicked right away, and it all made so much sense. My reality just came crumbling down on me and everything clicked. One of the things he talked about in his TED Talk was that he did an experiment with a type of bird called the male gray shrike. And what they did was they took it out of the wild and they put it in a cage, okay? And they gave it 2 buttons in front of it, the blue button and the red button. Now the blue button, if you press the blue button, would open the cage door, set him free, and he could, fly off and do what birds do, go plant seeds, eat food, mate with female birds and all that fun stuff. The red button, the magic button, would actually open a trapdoor which released a female bird of the same species who was ready to rock and roll, if you know what I'm saying. Didn't take long for that bird to figure out which button it preferred, and yeah, man smashed his balls off to the point where he probably had absolutely no testosterone or semen left inside of him. I don't know how birds reproduce. Do they have semen? I don't know. I don't think about it. Then what they did is they switched the buttons. Okay, so then the blue button became the female button, and then the red button, what they did is I don't know how this worked, but they somehow got a glass pipe which they drilled into his brain, without killing him. And every time he hit the red button, it would actually release a trace amount of cocaine directly into the dopamine center, the pleasure center of his brain. Now, what was very interesting is that, he went from smashing the hell out of the red button, which was for the female, completely ignored the blue button after figuring out that it did the same thing, and only, you can guess which button he started hitting, red all day, every day, to the point where he completely ignored any females that were in the cage. Okay, he ignored food, he ignored water, and 10 days later, this bird did nothing but smash the red button all day, every day, and died. Moment of silence for that male grey shrike. Probably died really happy though. And in this talk, the psychologist talks about how motivation actually works and the triad of how motivation works in the birds, in rats, and humans, because we're really not that different. And really, motivation has 3 core components. Number 1, it's like a triangle, okay? Number 1, seek pleasure, okay, which if you're a bird is pretty much just food and sex. Avoid pain, and then conserve energy is the third one, okay? So take the path of least resistance effectively. You want to conserve energy for survival, right? It's like a survival instinct, because you can't run away from lions if you're too tired. The problem is that humans are no fucking different. Our brain is an outdated piece of shit. Okay, it is designed purely for survival. And that means food and sex. That is it. Hunt for food and fuck. That is probably why those 2 activities release so much dopamine, if you're wondering. In caveman times, we have to do a lot to release a trigger of dopamine, right? You have to go like hunt for a gazelle, stab the thing, cook it, eat it, and then that feeling of victory, of accomplishment, of bringing that thing back to your tribe would release, and trigger dopamine, right? And so it wasn't very fucking hard to be motivated and, ambitious, because that was kind of like the default. There was really no other way to get a dopamine hit besides doing something productive for survival. Now, holy shit, the world we live in is a world of just pure instant gratification. Anything at all you want, you can have with the fucking press of a button with some app. You can have food arrive at your doorstep. You can have girls arrive at your doorstep. Tinder, right? We have it all. It's all right there instantly, straight away. You want happiness, you want anything. It's on demand. Okay, we live in a world on demand, and it is destroying humanity. This object right here, I love it. I love it so much. I have made well over $1 million, nearly $2 million. Pretty much all from this thing alone. Okay, it is great. iPhone, fantastic invention. But I also fucking hate it. This thing right here is quite literally destroying your willpower and motivation. Your phone works in exactly the same way as a slot machine, okay? Slot machines work so well because they are randomized. You pull the trigger, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Same exact thing with your phone. You check it, you tap, you open, sometimes there's nothing, sometimes there's a message. Sometimes there's no messages, sometimes there's like 20. You never know. It's always random and it's always exciting. It's like a new exciting thing that keeps you on your toes. And every time you check your phone, you get a little hit of dopamine in your brain that lights up the same exact pleasure centers that drugs like cocaine do. So people think dopamine is like the happiness hormone, right? Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but depression rates, suicide rates are an all-time high and getting even higher day by day as social media and the instant gratification lifestyle we live in becomes bigger and bigger and more a daily part of our lives. Dopamine is not the happiness hormone. It is not the pleasure hormone. It is the novelty hormone. It lights up when new or exciting things happen. This is why we don't get the same kick or buzz or joy or excitement from things that we've had for a while. Even if when we first got them, we were pumped about it, it was super exciting. Okay, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new car, a new toy, a new client, new house, new something. Pretty soon, the excitement wears off and it's just kind of meh. It's not exciting anymore. We don't get any form of excitement whatsoever from it. Only exception being my car, my Mustang. I don't know what the hell it is about it. Every single time, every day I get behind the wheel of that thing, my eyes light up like Christmas. I'm like a child in that thing. Brings me immense joy every single time. Highly recommend you get your hands on one. The point is, dopamine doesn't care about the context of the situation that it's in, okay? It is purely binary. It is ones and zeros in your brain that could not give 2 fucks about what the context is or what the thing that caused it to light up is. All it wants is the shortest path to pleasure and it will light up if it can get that. Can you see how there might be a fucking problem here if you're trying to build a business? Business is not short-term gratification. It is weeks or months before the work you're putting in now will likely pay off and you'll actually get something from it. There's no instant gratification monkey saying fucking, hey, congrats, you sent a DM to a prospect, here's a cookie. Okay, so you're just not motivated to do it. And your brain, because it's a dumb fucking pleasure-seeking ape, will coax you, will talk you into doing something that is easier and more fun because it just wants to get that dopamine spike. And by succumbing to that and engaging in activities that give you that dopamine spike, you are quite literally rewiring and training your brain to take the path of least resistance and avoid the long path, aka the path of work, aka the path of getting everything you fucking want in life. Okay, you're raising the baseline dopamine levels so high so that when doing things that are less exciting come along, you just don't have the motivation and willpower and you just don't want to do them because they're just not fun. When my average Sunday went from working, okay, because I used to work 7 days a week, it was just my default, it was completely normal to me. And when I moved to the Gold Coast, my average Sunday went from that to
waking up in the morning, gotta thank God.
literally like penthouse party on the fucking Gold Coast, Palm Beach, beautiful Pacific Ocean in front of me, having great chats with a bunch of my friends, okay, flirting with chicks, doing off their kidding, mum. I'm an innocent church boy and I would never partake in such debauchery. Let's just pretend you believe that. But that became my average Sunday. Okay, not even stand-up Sunday. Like, that was my average Sunday. At one point, like, that was my average fucking Wednesday, right? I don't even want to tell you what my Saturday nights were like, okay? You would... it's just it's so disgustingly degenerate. I don't even want to talk about it, right? But you can imagine, right? On these Sundays, my dopamine levels are being catapulted into the fucking stratosphere, okay? So high. They're fucking orbiting Jupiter, last time I heard from them.
PlayStation paving the way for future missions beyond.
So when Tuesday rolls around and it's time to get back to normal work, okay, but get back to, you know, building CMB, building my program, finding out new client acquisition strategies, sharpening my edge, you know, getting my clients amazing results, building out the program, all that good stuff, I just didn't have the same level of motivation and excitement to do it anymore. And I would just put it off. And no kidding, right? Because my baseline dopamine levels were set so fucking high from the weekend that everything below that was just a disappointment, right? And I'll just put it off, right? It's not even to do with drinking or substances or any of that stuff. It's like even as something as simple as just like kind of having a, you know, innocent-ish conversation with a cute girl and, you know, she's responding well and you guys are flirting and I don't know, maybe you end up kissing or something like that. And your brain, your dopamine centers are just like, dude, more of this. This feels amazing. And of course work is boring now and you don't want to do it, right? Because it's like a zero. It's comparatively side by side, writing a sales letter, flirting with hot chicks and kissing them. It's like a 0 and a 10 and it's not even close in your brain. Of course your brain doesn't want to do it. And you don't even have to be a degenerate piece of shit like me. This has exactly the same effect. So does TV. So does video games. They light up exactly the same dopamine pleasure centers in your brain that, you know, coke and partying and girls and all that fun stuff does. Remember, it's the novelty molecule. Squid Games. Watching that shit. It's gripping. It's addictive. Who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? You're on the edge of your seat, okay? I've never seen it. I refuse to let myself watch it because I watch a trailer on Netflix. That shit looks really good and addictive as fuck. And for that exact reason, I will not let myself anywhere near it. Social media, Facebook. These people literally have the world's smartest engineers and psychologists whose job is to do nothing except sit at a desk all day with the sole purpose of wondering how they can make you open Facebook more often. Because the more often you open Facebook, the more ads you see, and the more money they make from advertising revenue. It is you versus $2 trillion companies, okay? You're against Apple and fucking Facebook, and they're teaming up against you, and you're sitting here thinking that, oh, your willpower is gonna be enough to fight off the two conglomerates with the world's smartest humans working at them, designed to get you addicted to your phone. You, my friend, don't stand a fucking chance. And every time you cave in and you check your phone, you are destroying your focus muscle. If you feel a compulsion to check your phone, you are addicted to dopamine. This is affecting you, okay? And I'll be the first to admit, this is something I have struggled with a lot as well, okay? I still struggle with this on a day-to-day basis. If I'm not careful, if I don't catch myself, I will fall right into this, okay? I'm not immune to this at all. So what am I saying? Smash your phone, throw it away. Okay, never fucking go out ever again, never leave your house, don't socialize with anyone, okay, delete Tinder, never speak to any females and girls and have fun ever again, never travel anywhere ever again. Yeah, actually that's kind of exactly what I'm saying. When you're in business building mode and you're trying to get off the ground, you're trying to get to that first $10,000 a month, everything else is a distraction and it has to go, okay? Not forever, just temporarily. That means TV has to go. That includes YouTube. Video games, they gotta go. If for some fucking stupid reason you have TikTok installed on your phone, delete it. Unless your target audience consists of 12-year-olds, that shit should not be anywhere to be found on your phone, okay? It is cancer. Every social media app not strictly related to you getting clients, delete it from your phone. Limit your drinking. Don't take drugs, okay? Don't eat shitty processed foods that make you feel good in the moment. Cut out sugar completely, if at all possible. Even better, honestly, if you don't eat at all anything until you're done working for the day. Okay, I know it sounds kind of extreme, but that's really, it's just doing a 16 to 20 hour fast every single day. Having dinner, it's quite literally called OMAD, 1 meal a day. It's becoming very popular. Becoming popular for a reason, because it fucking works, right? You know the feeling at 2 p.m., that post-lunch slump where you're sitting there like, fucking drooling, and you can't conjure up any kind of willpower, energy, or motivation to do anything, right? Of course you can't. You can't do shit when your entire body's energy is trying to digest the food that's inside of it. So, if at all possible, just don't eat, right? Until after you're done working. I truly wish I did not have to eat at all, okay? I wish I could be like Elon Musk. I read in his biography, he thinks the same thing. I wish I could just take a pill a day that has the 3,500 calories to 4,000 calories I have to eat every day, all the macronutrients, all the good stuff, take the pill, chug a water, get it done, back to work, right? That would be a dream. But I have to eat, okay, because I'd rather fucking die than be small, and that's just a fact. Okay, junk foods that make you tired, cut them out, delete them. Stop watching porn. Guys, girls, if you're single, delete Tinder. Stop going on dates. Stop hooking up. Okay, it's degenerate nonsense. And this is coming from possibly the world's #1 leading authority in what it means to be a degenerate. You're not an ape. Control your sexual impulses. The female population is not going anywhere. Okay, your dick is not gonna shrivel up and fall off if you don't use it for a few weeks or a few months. Okay, I've had periods in my life where I've been getting after it for, 2-3 times a day, right? And I've had other periods in my life where I've been completely celibate, abstained from sex completely for months, like an embarrassingly amount of months, right? To the point where I thought my fucking virginity was gonna grow back, okay? It was like 10 months. I was actually trying to see if I could achieve like full God mode, go for a full year, but I had a Halloween yacht party and there's a couple cuties on there and I cracked, okay? I cracked. But you can guess which of those 2 periods was the most productive period of my life. Okay, it's not even close. That 10-month period where I was celibate, I accomplished more in that 10 months than probably the 3 years that came before that, right? I grew my business from, low 6 figures to 7 figures, right? 3x'd my business. Got signed to Spinnin' Records, which is the world's #1 massively most biggest dance music label in the world. That's English. Built the best body on the whole of YouTube. I'm just kidding, but my own personal best body. I was in the best shape of my life, okay? This was during the start of the pandemic, so that did kind of make things easier where everything's shut and I don't really have the opportunity to go out and, meet people and mingle and whatnot. Not only that, it was actually the most rewarding, fulfilling, and honestly happiest 10 months period of my entire life, okay? That's what true happiness is, right? It's making meaningful progress towards goals that you care about, okay? Happiness is not some quick rush, quick hit of dopamine, all right? Dopamine is not the happiness hormone. Dopamine is quite literally the opposite of happiness. It's fake happiness, okay? It's happiness that leads to sadness, which then leads to depression. Not where you want to be. But guys, and I say guys because YouTube tells me that 98% of my YouTube audience is apparently men, so trust me on this, okay? I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this. I don't care. Girls are a distraction. Don't believe me? Ask the world's #1 leading authority on hooking up with hot females, Dan Bilzerian. He will tell you exactly the same thing. You read his book, you watch interviews with him, and he says the same thing, right? It's not just the time that you spend with them, right? That's like a time suck or whatever. It's the texting to meet up, okay? The flirting, the going back and forth. And oh my God, this cute girl that I like said something like she's flirting with me, and now you're fucking high on dopamine while you're trying to work. Obviously you're not getting anything done, okay? And then you gotta spend like fucking 5 minutes coming up with like a witty response to try and win her over. And then, you put your phone aside and you try to go back to work. You're not really working, okay? You think your attention's here. Your attention's 100% over here on the phone, right? And then you coordinate logistics, and then she does come over, and then you guys wine and dine each other. You do the deed, and then of course you're tired after sex, okay? Because you just fucking literally just shot out all of your testosterone, your chi, your life energy, and now your dopamine levels are so jacked up, okay? From raising the baseline so high from these enjoyable activities that now, Thursday, 2 days from now, when you have this important project, you're trying to sit down and research a fucking sales letter, and you just can't be fucked to do it. You can't find the motivation, the willpower to get it done, and you're wondering why. This is why. This is everything. Okay, am I saying to be a monk for the rest of your life and never have sex again, never do fun shit again, never travel, never party, never drink, never do, never enjoy any of life's like great pleasures? Not at all. Okay, that sounds like an extremely boring, uninspiring life. Okay, if you look at my Instagram, once again, you will see that I wouldn't exactly describe my life as boring. But I'm able to do all of this stuff now because I've already hit a point where I'm at 7 figures. I have a team that does all of the heavy lifting for me. Okay, they do all of the sales, the logistics, the operations, all that fun stuff, the admin. So whether I'm working, snorkeling on Hamilton Island, or passed out on a fucking rooftop somewhere, the work's getting done. Okay, the sales are coming in, the clients are coming in, the money's coming in. You are not at that point. Okay, you are not in maintenance mode. You are in build mode. When I was in build mode, this was not at all what my life looked like. In those 30 days where I talk about, how I went from $0 to $10,000 a month in 30 days, those 30 days, I quite literally did absolutely nothing except work. And then my only break for the day, my big reward would be go to gym and then fucking eat and then work again and then sleep and then repeat. Every day for 30 days, nothing else. And guess what? It was easy, okay? Because I wasn't doing anything that was actually fun. And so all of a sudden you become so numb and so detoxed to dopamine, right? Your baseline levels are so low and your tolerance is so low again that essentially even the most minor mundane things like finishing an email for a client all of a sudden becomes fun. You get a little hit of dopamine from it. And then of course when you do something actually meaningful, like, I don't know, sign a client, that's like a fucking sledgehammer of dopamine. And now, dude, there's just so much dopamine there that from that action that you quite literally cannot stop. You are addicted to the process that got you that dopamine, which is working. And now all of a sudden, it becomes enjoyable and you're in this big upward spiral of work and success and money and results rather than the downward spiral of the, dopamine overload that you were in before. You need to learn to rewire your brain to receive dopamine from the things that actually matter, that are actually important to achieving your long-term goals. If that sounds too hardcore for you or whatever, just start smaller. Okay, you don't have to completely smash your phone or have it on airplane mode 24/7 and leave it in your kitchen drawer. At the bare minimum, okay, put it in do not disturb and just leave it in do not disturb all day, every day. It absolutely baffles me how many people are working and they literally have their phone next to them with notifications turned on, fucking flashing up in their face every 45 seconds, stealing their attention away from their life's work, from what's important. And fucking attention residue, your attention's left on the phone. There's a lot of science to back this shit up. But it just blows my mind, right? How many people just literally give all of their attention to their phone, to shit that's completely meaningless, right? To fucking, someone mentioned you in a comment on Facebook, who the fuck cares, right? Let's be real. If you work while you have your phone next to you with notifications turned on, and you are not expecting some life-altering message to come in that time, which you absolutely need to have it on for, you disgust me, okay? You absolutely have to change that. You cannot work like that. Next, take the social media apps off the first page of your phone. Right? Put them on fucking page 6 in some folder that's buried so you're not tempted to check them, okay? Out of sight, out of mind. You won't check them as often if you can't see them, straight up. Absolutely cannot avoid watching TV for whatever reason. Just limit it to 30 minutes a day, okay, of your favorite TV show, and that's it, okay? And put it at the end of your workday so you're using it as a reward for doing the work that you were supposed to do. So you can do some of these things sparingly. You don't have to completely cut out everything. You have to severely limit the amount of dopamine spiking activities that you're engaging with and then use them strategically in a way that is after you are finished working. When you do this dopamine detox, okay, it's not going to be easy, right? Day 1 and 2 are going to be difficult. Your brain is going to pull out every fucking trick in the book to try and get you to go back to your old ways. Okay, it is going to try and convince you so hard. And it is going to be like a perfectly copyrighted sales letter because your brain knows you so well. It knows your strengths. It knows your weaknesses. It knows the fucking objections you're going to put up. And it knows the way around those objections. And it's going to try and talk you into it, okay? You have to stay strong. You have to not let it. Day 3 onwards is going to become so much easier, just like with fasting, if you've ever done that. Day 3 onwards gets easier because you are detoxed. That dopamine baseline is coming back down. And the things that are actually important that you need to be doing, like working, eating healthily, working out, those things all of a sudden start to become fun again. You start to actually get a bit of buzz, a bit of kick, a bit of joy from doing those things. I assure you, do this for 3 to 6 months. Okay, honestly, 3 months at the most if you do it properly, until your business is at $10,000 a month. Okay, or whatever goal that you set for yourself, which you're happy with. No partying, no girls or guys, no TV, okay, no checking your phone 100 fucking times a day, no video games, no bullshit. And when you do, okay, use it sparingly as a way to feed the beast. Okay, you want to train yourself, quite literally like Pavlov's dog, to condition yourself to receive that dopamine spike from doing things that are beneficial to your life and to your business. And if you are going to do those fun things, then use it as a way to reward yourself so that your brain wants to do more of the process that got you there, which is do the work so I can get the reward, so I can feel good. Okay? This doesn't mean send one DM and then go eat a whole tub of fucking cookie dough ice cream. Okay? That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I mean. Okay? I mean like work for like literally 8 to 12 hours. Okay? Not necessarily straight. You could break it up, go for a walk or whatever. And then, okay, when you're done with your workday, then just do 30 minutes of something that you enjoy. That's something that brings you joy, something that gives you a little hit of dopamine. Fucking go to sleep, wake up early, on time, the next day, get it done, repeat. Okay, you're in build mode. Nothing else matters until you have your financial situation sorted. I can't believe how many people are just fucking content being broke, but like going out and partying and having a great social life and a great dating life and relationships and all this fucking bullshit, to be honest. Like, but they're living paycheck to paycheck and they're miserable. Like, get your finances fucking sorted. Get the business up and running, and then everything else will take care of itself. Okay, personal rhythm that used to work really well for me is going 11 days straight and just working, doing nothing except work for 11 days, and then taking 3 days off to go travel, go do something fun, go party, go let loose, go do whatever you want to do. The whole weekend thing, 7 days, fucking 5 days, 2 days, it's just too short. It doesn't work. You spend 5 days working, okay, weekend rolls around, okay, then you spike your dopamine to the moon, right? And then so you're hungover probably Sunday, and then you've lost Monday, you've lost all of your steam and traction and motivation. And then you really get back into the swing of things and back into momentum by like, sort of midweek Wednesday. You really only have like fucking 2, maybe 3 days, and then it's party time again. And you've lost again. You really only have half a week. So really 11 days minimum to hit your full stride. And like I said, those dopamine baselines will be lower. It'll be much easier to continue working because you'll actually get joy from it because you've removed the things that are, the dopamine thieves. So give that a shot, but, really just find whatever rhythm actually works for you. Not what you think works for you, but what actually works for you. But Sean, that sounds boring and hard and I don't want to do that. It's fucking uninspiring life. Yes, it is boring. Okay, building a successful business is supposed to be boring and it's supposed to be hard. Or guess what? Newsflash, everyone would have one, but they don't. Okay, 95% of these instant gratification monkeys out there that claim they want to, be a successful entrepreneur and start a business and live out their dreams, never do shit about it. They never get past the first step, okay? Because the process is simply just too fucking boring. Once you hit that 10K a month mark or whatever goal you set, then you can outsource things. You have the money to hire people to do the work for you. Then you can start to travel and delegate and do all this fun stuff and live life. Listen, I have helped more freelance copywriters hit $10,000 a month than any other human being I know. It's what I do. Okay? This shit works. And it's not just the strategies that I teach are better than everyone else's, right? It's the way I rewire my students, my clients' brains to literally operate like high-performance fighter jets. Don't take this shit lightly, right? This is not just like some cool little trick or hack. Like, this is it. This is the secret sauce. This is everything. This is how you be a high performer and kick ass and win at life. Apply what I literally just taught you in this video. Combine that with the strategies we teach in CMB. And I'm not being dramatic when I say it'll literally change the trajectory of your life forever. And after you hit the like and subscribe buttons below, I'll leave you with this one final little tip. If you're ever struggling to conjure up the motivation to get some important work done, remember, one day you're going to be dead and buried. And in those final moments, you can either smile and think to yourself, fuck yes, I lived an amazing life. I'm so proud of it. That was awesome. Or a tear can roll down your cheek as you ponder on nothing but regrets, emptiness, despair, and shame as you sit there and wish with every fiber of your being that you could take it back, you could start over, you could have more time, and that you didn't just piss away the one and only life that you were given. The choice is yours. You don't have a lot of time, So stop wasting it on dumb shit. Done.